so solvency, narrative, soft power, cap.
Soft power, yeah, cap, and then the midterms thing.
Okay.
But I'm sorry, after soft power, you're doing what?
Okay, it's soft power, then cap, then midterms.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Are you reading any of your cards?
No.
Excellent.
No, no, I'm not. Okay, just give me time. Okay. Alright, everyone ready? Okay, I wouldn't say that experience does not equal authority, that there's gotten any one card, but extend our Co. 05 evidence from our 1AC. This says that like right now, currently in the status quo, prostitutes' voices are being excluded in politics. That this is justified by basically political entities who want to maintain the status quo. This keeping prostitution illegal. So and also their narratives arguments are really they're like race cards. They're not case specific to prostitution or discussions of like prostitution narratives. So not sure how much that weighs there. But then okay, they said that narratives are self-serving, but this is like that is the entirety of our solvency evidence. Like our Co. 05 evidence, our Price 03 evidence is saying that like this right now exclusion has been institutionalized by our governments, by our police forces, and this legitimizes the same violence that we're critiquing. They have no mechanism for solving this impact. That's our prostitute archetype advantage there. And yeah, we include narratives because these are the people who know what's happening right now. Like right now in the status quo, prostitutes' voices are being completely ignored, discredited, not listened to, and they have valuable things to add to this political processes. That's why we should enable them to unionize, to implement, to influence politics, to influence our perception of the prostitute. Because right now we equate prostitution with either victimization, like victimized women who have no choice other than to be prostitutes, or these dirty, depraved. Sexual deviance, essentially, and discourse, and allowing them to change the dominant perspective on prostitution will solve for these stigmas. Because right now in the status quo, if we simply say like all of this narrative thing is just linking even harder to what we're criticizing. But our idea is that discourse and words like their meanings are fluid. We can influence their meaning by talking about it in round. That's what we're doing right now. That's how we solve for that. So that their idea that no, we should just like ignore them and let other people speak for prostitutes, maintain this silence, that is linking even harder to what we're criticizing. That just triggers our impact for that. Also, their legalization card that talk about it increases trafficking. That's talking about weed legalization, so it's not relevant to this round. And then okay, and
it increases violence against women.
Oh, and okay, and they said that legalization increases violence against women, but this will enable us to write policies that protect these women. This because they know exactly the horrors that prostitutes go for. Like their discourse, their additions to this debate in policy is like invaluable. So and yeah, cross apply that to the solvency flow and the narratives thing. Like no, they're just linking even harder to that critique there by trying to silence these prostitutes. And then okay, on to the soft power thing. They say that soft power trades off with hedge, but okay, just like purely just like we're getting in trouble with the UN for like these unmanned drones like bombing people in the Middle East. Our military budget, like the United States accounts for literally 50% of global expenditures on defense. The idea that this one instance, if we legalize prostitution, suddenly our soft power and hedge will decline. No, this is like an incredibly minor aspect of this.
Extend Van Buren that talks about how soft power is dead because of our like policies in Guantanamo Bay.
And extend that soft power is dead because of our policies on Guantanamo Bay. This was really undercovered in the block. Okay, now onto capitalism.
Yes.
Okay, they said that capitalism is the root.
The impact
Oh.
the soft power.
Okay, for soft power. Okay, there's no great power whereas World War II fundamentally altered international relations. Asia News Report 14, the destruction caused by World War II is millions of dead, ruined cities, genocides, and widespread negotiations, civilized values and behavior have far more powerful effect than the deaths of World War I. Politicians today are always aware of the fragility of the international order and nuclear attitudes to war were largely positive. The dangers of all conflict lead to larger ones among larger powers have receded. Okay, now onto the CAPK. I asked him in cross like what does the world of the alternative look for? He has no alternative to capitalism, which is like that further entrenches our card that says no capitalism inevitable because he can't even think of an alternative to it. So if we reject it, what then? What happens then? And then okay, they said that this is the root cause of oppression, so we can't solve our ignorance, but there's no root cause. Reading 3, the capitalist national corporation and globalization, the primary cause of nations engaged in wars not because of capitalism or root cause, because members of society are convinced in their own survival at best. War, poverty, starvation have existed long before capitalism. And even without capitalism began. The problem is deeper than simply changing the present capitalist system. Changing corrupt systems does not change the people who supported it. So basically saying that like no, the problems that they're talking about is not it's not because of capitalism, because of the people involved in it. Once again, there's no alternative to capitalism. And that his inability to come up with an alternative just further entrenches that idea. Extend the perm. Like we can just if the alternative is good enough, we can overcome this one instance of capitalist system because we need to implement it because they have no mechanism for solving for any of our impacts.
Also, extend Wilkinson 05 that says cap is inevitable.
Yeah, I already did. Okay, and then, okay.
Politics, when they see it, don't bring it up again. At that time.
Yes.
All right.